an animal, pure go-getter, program changer. That is how some in NBA circles describe this next individual. And we'll dive into how he's using that approach in the business world. Counting Bigface only with Jimmy Butler coming right up at the Nasdaq. Hello, everyone. This is Jabari Young, Forbes senior writer at Forbes, and I'm here at the Nasdaq, and I got a special guest with me. I just told you who it is. He only counts big faces. His name is Jimmy Butler, fresh off of a $100 million contract extension, $100 million plus.
You do not have to do that.
Golden State Warriors All-Star.
You do not have to do that.
Right?
Wow.
A future NBA champion. I hope I'm saying that, right? I can say that, though, right?
Please do.
There you go, man.
Repeat
Jimmy,
that one
welcome,
more time.
man.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the Nasdaq.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming here, man. You know, definitely. Is this your first time?
This is my first time. Not in New York, but it's my first time.
At the Nasdaq, though, it's your first time. Well, I'm glad, man, and I can introduce you to this.
There
thing,
we go.
Man. Now you can walk past Nasdaq and you say Jabari Young and Forbes introduced us.
Introduced me, brought me in here.
Got you in here, man.
Grateful.
Well, we in the stock market, so you got to give me a stock, right? What's something that either you've been flirting with, you paying attention to, you want to buy, you've owned it, and it was great for you? Give me a stock.
I like aloe.
Aloe. Why aloe?
Why aloe?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fashionable. It's cool. I feel good. I look good when I'm in it. So I feel right when aloe.
So it's all about how you feeling with that.
Always.
Okay.
You know, if you rock with it and you love it and you love to support it and it's your brand, I think it hit a little bit different.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, man, as we sit, we're also in Women's History Month, right? So give me that key figure in your life. Maybe somebody, a woman that stand out, and you maybe in the business, right? Who's that woman that was inspirational for you?
Honestly, I love Serena Williams. What she's done for women's sports, but now, like, even in the business world, is off the charts. I hope to be that after I do retire, after a phenomenal career that I'm wishing that I can have. I'm still working towards. And it's hard to catch Serena because she is goated in every aspect of tennis. And now she's doing the same thing off the floor in all of these business ventures.
Yeah. Have you spoken to her? If you give me any advice about how to handle it?
If I talk to her, it's normally always about tennis or some type of racket sport, just because I want to be so nice at tennis. I'm a competitor, so I want to be the best at everything. So if I could just learn a little bit of tennis from Serena, my life would kind of be
your life has changed. Oh, well, that's good then. Hey, man, listen, how is it playing with the Warriors now? I mean, you know, this is a legendary franchise. You're playing with one of the best. He calls you a superstar. Obviously, Steph is a superstar. I was just telling you, I was in Philly. Every time that man walks into a building, you know, they come to watch him practice, warm up, right? It's crazy. How's it like playing with the Warriors, and what's it like playing with Steph?
It's great. They're winning ways, the way that anybody on this roster will do whatever it takes to win, putting the team before themselves. And then, you know, you're playing with Steph. He's the ultimate teammate. He's always going to draw all the attention all the time. And he's always going to make the right play. And a lot of the times that play is something incredible that he's doing to put the ball into the basket. But a few times he's always making the right pass. He's trying effortlessly on the defensive side of the ball. But with all that being said, that's why they've won the championships that they've won with him, with Dre. And it's just been a great learning experience, but really fun, joyful to play basketball.
Have you found out anything about him as a teammate that maybe you didn't know facing him?
Nah, I think you see what you get with him in a good way, though. Like, as I say time and time again, I'm so glad that I'm on this side of it now and not the one that's watching them shoot bombs from almost half court. Right? I don't have to do that anymore. So that's good. I think the biggest thing is who he is off the floor. I haven't been able to spend as much time with him off the floor whenever I was not his teammate. Now, and it's just like everything, which is the whole reason I started Bigface. You actually get to sit down and find out what you do have in common with somebody. And we actually got a ton in common.
Yeah. He likes coffee too, I'm assuming.
Does like coffee, does drink wine. I mean, this shouldn't surprise anybody.
Does he drink Bigface coffee?
He will.
Okay, he will now.
He will pretty soon.
Okay.
And then he's just a fierce competitor. He wants to be the best at everything. So
nice.
A lot that we have in common.
Well, let's dig into the business, man. Every time, man, you speak, always, you know, talking Bigface coffee brand. I remember talking to you when I was at CNBC a while ago, man. When you first started, that was in 2021, fresh off of the bubble where this concept kind of came into play. But update me on what's going on with Bigface Coffee. I know you guys doing some e-commerce and you're still doing the coffee distribution. What's happening with the business?
A lot. It's growing in a good way. You know, you're talking to merch, you're talking to coffee, talking to Ready Bev, which is the ready to drink. We have a shop finally in Miami which is so great, even though I'm not there anymore. A lot of love for Miami and the support that everybody's shown Bigface while being there. Online, still booming, but I think the shop was the biggest thing for me because it gave me a place to go be myself and fan out about coffee and have coffee with all the locals so they can see me as a normal person and not just this athlete that you see on TV. And that's what this dream was, to have something that anybody could go to and just, hey, we just want to have coffee, we just want to meet people, we just want to laugh and have a good time. So when Bigface opened in Miami, I was there every day, 2 to 3 hours. I was behind the bar sometimes making coffee. I was doing it. That actually is one of my biggest passions.
Yeah. What have you learned? Because again, man, you've talked before. It was so fresh. You know what I mean? The idea, man. Yeah. You were getting the concept. I mean, you went and got the branding and the license, make sure everything was good. But we're in 2025 now, man. What have you learned about running a coffee business?
That my ideas aren't always the best ideas.
What?
Yeah, you would think.
Jimmy Butler saying that?
You would think that my ideas would be genius all the time.
Yeah.
But I've come to find out that my ideas aren't actually the best ideas. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I have such a great team that's helping me reach everybody.
Yeah.
I always say that Bigface is for everybody. So we're continually trying to find ways to bring coffee to kids with like a kids menu and have something for the pets that come through, have something for everybody of all age ranges. I think my team has found a really delicate balance in between making Jimmy happy and tricking Jimmy to thinking he's happy. So it's been good.
Yeah. Well, when you say stuff like, my ideas aren't the best, how did you have to swallow your pride and open up and get out of your own way? Was it hard?
Very. And I think the very first time it happens whenever I did a very stupid purchase with my own money, and I was like, this is a great idea, and everyone was like, that's not a great idea, and I was like, but if it's a great idea and I'm saying it's a great idea, it's definitely a great idea. Wasn't a great idea.
Yeah.
And I learned to listen. I learned that other people know more about this particular thing than you do, so you need to ask all the right questions to be able to get to the knowledge that they have. And even when you reach that level, there's still more to be learned, you know what I mean? And that's the number one thing is like, be quiet. You don't have all the answers. Listen, because people know so much more.
Who told you that? Like, did you read it in a book or something like that? Or did you have to just sit down while you was maybe talking to Serena, looking at tennis lessons?
I got a little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
So I know that there are people out there that have been doing basketball longer than me, that have been being a parent longer than me in the coffee world. So I know whenever I meet certain individuals, I was like, they have it. Yeah. They've been doing this. They know the goods, the bads. And I just ask the questions and I just listen now more often than not.
Well, one of the things that was striking me about when we were talking about Bigface before is the fact of how you traveled, right, Costa Rica, and you were participating in the auction to go buy the coffee beans and all of that. Like, you actually went over there to scout the beans, right, the Couple of Excellence auction, and you had spent over $65,000 for premium El Salvador coffee beans.
It was a lot.
Because you were trying to, it's double star, right? Is this what El Salvador coffee beans? Is this in here too?
I don't think so.
No, it's not in here.
The Couple
Why want the one with the El Salvador coffee beans, man?
Yeah, I know. But that was one of the ones that I was telling you. That's not the best investment.
That's not.
It's not.
Going over the Cup of Excellence to do that? Why not?
I mean, the Cup of Excellence is great, but I think it's always going to be about the story that you can tell with your brand and the story that you can tell with your cup of coffee. So now, every coffee that we bring in has a specific story behind it, why we picked that coffee. That one, the El Salvador coffee, had a great story with it too, but I wasn't focused on the Cup of Excellence now like I was then. You know what I mean? Now it's all about how can I tell why I picked this coffee.
That particular bean.
That particular bean, that particular lot. And I think that's what I focus on now, because if people can relate to your story, that's where the value of the product comes into. Like, Bigface is great, but I gotta be able to relate to people through coffee to get them to sit down and have that coffee with me.
Where are you sourcing the beans out of now?
There's so many different places, if you ask me, I think I'm Brazilian, so we're obviously gonna have some Brazilian coffee. Colombia is incredible.
Yeah.
Like El Salvador, Ethiopia. There's so many great coffee places around the world, and everybody has their own specific taste as well.
Right.
As I'm coming to find out, so that's part of getting some coffee for everybody. Cold, pour overs, cappuccinos, a lot of everything for everybody.
Where do you find this fascination with coffee? I know the story. At the Bubble, you developed a passion for it, and you know that they was only counting big bills on. But I mean, you are really like a coffee aficionado all of a sudden. I remember when you was in Chicago,
I know.
and I was covering the Spurs. I would come out, would be watching you practice and all that, and you go from a 30th pick to being this coffee aficionado with his own coffee bill. Where does all of this come from?
From people. I really love to sit down and talk to people. I do. I wasn't always planning on being this basketball player that played for the Bulls and for the Heat and the Sixers and the
I need you to be better with the Sixers, man. That's my hometown in Philly, man.
I love Philly.
I know you do. I hate it when you left.
I love Philly. But I think the people is what really drew me into coffee.
Yeah.
Like the conversations that I got to have with complete strangers at the time, and then you get to know them and you realize, oh, you got kids that are the same age. Oh my gosh, I went to the same college. Oh, you love to vacay here, so do I. Oh, you love Neymar too, doesn't everybody? And I think that's where my love for coffee came, because everybody gets to have a conversation over coffee. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Finding the uncommon in common is what we say. So I think that's where this love of coffee comes from.
Yeah. Take me back, man, you know, when you were at Marquette, right? And you're going through, you know, you're obviously a college basketball player, but what are you learning at the time that helped you, that's helping you now in business? Like, what did you learn back in your college days that you're applying and you're using in business today?
That it's gonna be difficult, and you can't run, you can't hide. You just gotta put your head down and get through it like you have everything else in life. Whenever I was in college at Marquette, it wasn't easy basketball. You're talking in the Big East with players like Jarrell McNeil, Lazar Hayward, Wesley Matthews, Dominic James, all in front of me, and I'm just learning, and I'm like, these guys really got some go. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna be my time sooner or later, so I gotta be ready to go. It's the same thing in the business world. Like, it may not be a time right now. You know, you gotta learn, you gotta sit back, you gotta watch, you gotta ask the questions, find out how they did what they did to what got them to being that player at that time. My time's coming with the Bigface brand. You know, we're gonna take over this coffee world, knowing that I'm gonna bring other coffee people up with me too.
Yeah. Are you looking at franchises, like franchising out and going all over? Like, listen, your publicist, Josh, he lives up in Oregon, and he'll tell you, I love, Dutch Brothers, right? And I love how that story kind of grew. Are you thinking?
It's all about the story.
It's all about the story.
I'm telling you.
The come up is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And are we looking at that with Bigface Coffee? Can we look back in 2025 and say, man, let's 2030 now and look at all these franchises?
Yeah, I want to. I want to be everywhere in the world. I want to have a reason to go visit all of these other countries besides football, soccer, which is easily my favorite sport. I want to be able to go into like so many different cities and type in on Google Bigface Coffee Shop and have one that I can go visit. Sit down, work on my language barrier. So if there's one in Paris, I'm gonna be speaking French, Italy, Italian, Dutch whenever I'm in Amsterdam. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
But we need a couple more here in the States, but we for sure want to do some stuff all over the world.
What's Jimmy Butler like as a CEO, right? I mean, you talk about what you are on the court in a minute, but what are you like as a CEO in business?
I think I'm actually really nice as a CEO. I am.
Let's look at your staff.
Yeah, look at them. I think I'm actually really nice.
Ain't nobody put thumbs down now.
I think I'm actually really nice. Probably a little bit too nice.
Yeah.
Because we always make a joke about it. Like, yo, I'll take you to HR. Because now I legit got HR, right? So I'm like overly nice, but because I really enjoy the people that I work with. And I realize that if they're happy and they're smiling and they're having fun, then they're going to, do everything they can to make sure that Bigface is a success. I can't keep an eye on everybody all the time. Obviously, my main job is basketball. So as long as you make everybody feel comfortable, you're taking care of everybody, they're going to do the same for you. I truly believe that. So me as a CEO, just a caring, loving individual that wants everybody to be great.
Yeah. I called around before and I talked to people who've known you and who've coached you, covered the NBA, and so calling around, say, I got Jimmy coming to Nasdaq. Where you asking? When Jimmy coming? And we got a mutual friend, Ed Pinckney.
Oh,
and man,
Villanova, baby.
I called Ed and I said, Ed, you know him better. He was in Chicago, he was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Give me one word to describe me. He said, Jabari, animal. I said, man, why do you say animals? Because name another dude who was drafted 30 who led 2 teams to NBA Finals. Like, when we had him in Minnesota, he was going to get it. Like, in Chicago, he was going to get it. Where does that animal instinct come from?
Life. I don't think life is easy on anybody. I think you got to work for everything that you have, everything that you're going to have in the future. And I've picked it up. I haven't mastered it. I definitely haven't mastered it, but I know that there are going to be a lot of hurdles to get through. There's going to be a lot of tough times, and it's not always going to go your way. It's not. But as long as you put your head down, you got a good group, people that believe good things happen. Luck has something to do with it too, but as long as you believe and you got some people in your corner that also want you to be great, those animal instincts kind of kick in survival mode, and then before you know it, 30th pick.
Yeah. When you were in Chicago in that 30th pick, man, I go back to Chicago. Those were your starting days. I mean, you had C.J. Watson, you had Carlos, but you had some vets on your team that really kind of showed you the rope. When you had to go back and look at what vet really helped you become the Jimmy Butler that you are today, who do you pinpoint?
Luol Deng.
Luol Deng.
Every time.
What did he do?
He did everything for that team. Guarded, scored, passed the ball, rebounded, never came out because that's the Tibbs way, and he never complained. He was so grateful. He was so willing to teach any young guy, show any young guy anything. He's a really big reason why I am where I am today in the basketball world. But, you know, even more so the mindset that I have to help everybody else be great, because you can't dribble that basketball forever. You can't shoot it forever. And now he's doing big things in Africa, and he's teaching the next generation and taking South Sudan places that they've never been before. And it's a lot of it is because of him.
Yeah. Luol Deng.
Yeah.
Man, that was one of my favorite players.
Look.
Man. I mean, he's quiet.
He used to give everybody fits.
Yeah. Defensively and everything.
Yes.
Another story is that, you know, Ed was telling me, he says, man, when we was in Chicago, as it was your second year in the league, he says, when we playing LeBron, Jimmy says, don't send no double team his way. I got him.
Yeah.
For a guy that's in his year 2, like that took a lot of courage.
Yeah.
What made you take on that responsibility of saying, don't send help with the greatest player possibly, arguably, in the entire basketball history?
It was probably courage and stupidity at the time, honestly. But I think that's just like, that's what got Tibbs really going. Like when you're not backing down from any challenge. And back in those days, it was always try to beat the Miami Heat because, you know, LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, and the other Hall of Famers that they had on that roster, you couldn't send a double.
Yeah.
Because LeBron's going to make the right pass every time. He's going to make the right play. And it was just like, you go out there and you just compete. You know, if he is the greatest of all time, which he might as well will be, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's supposed to do this anyway, so go out there, compete, and try to make a name for yourself. It worked out in the long haul. I've been playing this game for going on 14 years now, very blessed. But it did start with a stupid comment like, when I'm guarding LeBron, don't send a double. Yeah.
That's what happened, man. Hey, man, take me more inside of your portfolio, right? I mean, listen, you go back into the coffee business, it's a $13 billion industry according to IBIS World. That's only in the U.S.
Yeah.
Single-serve coffee is about $5.5 billion. That's what they make revenue-wise. But what else is in your portfolio outside of Bigface coffee that you're really excited about that's going to grow?
Oh, man. Let me think. I love Li-Ning, which are the shoes that I wear on the basketball court. I think they do a phenomenal job of keeping my feet moving the way that they're supposed to be moving.
And what's the name of it?
Li-Ning.
Li-Ning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Li-Ning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Chinese basketball company.
Yep,
right.
yep,
Dwayne Wade is a part of that.
Yep.
Right?
Probably the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
Who else we got? You know, obviously the Bigface merch and everything. I told you, aloe, everything. I'm drawing a blank here.
Any real estate?
A lot of real estate.
Okay.
A lot of real estate. I think my favorite real estate is my home.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah. Which one? Because I know you got multiple ones.
I do. Probably the one that's in Southern California.
Okay.
That's the one that I spend majority of my time
right.
at.
You never invited me over. You invited me to one in Miami, but not the one
You can come. Yeah.
That's cool.
We got a coffee shop in there. We got the first official Bigface coffee shop actually.
Oh, this is apparently mine, so I'll come.
That is yours.
Out.
Yes. But you gotta pay when you.
I gotta pay for Bigface coffee when I get to your house.
Of course.
What you mean?
Why would you not? My neighbors have to pay.
Wait, but you Jimmy Butler, you got way more money than us.
That has nothing to do. It's not about the money. I think that's where people get confused. It's not about the money. It's about the experience. Think about how you're gonna feel when you gotta walk in my house and you want a coffee and I make you pay for it. Who else is doing that? Nobody. So you'll never forget coming to my house.
Pay for how? What am I going? I don't got no money. I don't have big faces. I mean, I don't carry cash.
But you have your phone, definitely. You got the thing.
Big faces. That's what we're saying. Big faces.
Yes, but now big faces are
big face credit
free.
cards.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever you call the thing that they be doing now. Yeah. We got that machine at the house.
I mean, when you talk about, again, in your portfolio, the real estate and everything like that, what else are you looking at? Look around the world, right? Where you've been a lot of places, man. What else are you interested in? Where other countries are you saying, hey, I want to touch down here, I want to put some money in?
Africa.
Africa. Yeah. Listen, that continent is on the rise, man.
Shout out to you, Remy.
Yeah. That's a great place to put your money in.
Yeah. I try to visit as often as I can.
Yeah. How many times have you been?
Probably like four or five. I want to go back this summer as well, just visit somewhere different. Always stopping by Senegal, as my Senegalese people know. I love y'all so very much. I'm just there to learn. I'm just there to learn and experience and take what I learned there to everywhere else in the world. Definitely back here in America. And I feel like the one thing that I learned more than anything when I'm over there is truly how to be grateful and be happy with what you have, because that's the number one thing over there. What you have is good enough for me. I'm not worried about anybody else. Yeah.
You leave out of here and see an entrepreneur walk on the street, you Jimmy Butler, right? What do you want to hear from that entrepreneur if they have a plan, if they got, you get pitched all the time, I'm sure, right? What do you want to hear from people? What's going to make you jump, right, when you hear these business plans?
I just want to hear that you're actually trying to make it be great. You know, not just chasing a dollar at that point. Like if you come to me with, oh, we're trying to raise X amount of dollars, I'm like, all right, well then go do that. But what are you doing? I know that you need this money, but what are you doing to show people like, yo, this product is what it is? You know, saying basically like, what's the story? Why?
Right.
Why?
You want to hear a story with these people.
Yeah, I want to hear why you want to do this. Why do people need this? Why do you love it so much? Why do you think everybody else should have it? That's the thing that's going to get me. Money, I want to know why is this for everybody.
Yeah, man, you're so great when you make enough money when you can just rub it off. Money,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we're not worried about that.
Well, I mean, listen, man, let's speak on money right fast, because as I look at your history, right, according to Spot Tracker, you're on pace to make over $400 million in your career.
You really just going to talk about my money like that?
It's public information, Jimmy. I mean, that's what it is. It's public information at this point,
man.
I've
made a couple
dollars. That's what
it's
projected to be, right? Over $400 million, mate. You come, man, you think about the time that you spent at Tomball, Texas, in high school.
Tyler Junior College.
At Tyler Junior College, Marquette, and now you are on the verge of making over $400 million. Like, have you sat down and has it hit you yet that you're...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it hits me every single day when I wake up, before I go to bed, whenever I'm thinking, whenever I look at my bank account, when I look at it quite often still.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be able to be in this position, to be able to help as many people as I can, and to know where I've come from and also where I'm going. That is a lot of money, but it's helping me do a lot of things.
Yeah, over $400 million is a hell of a lot of money.
Yes, it is. Yeah. We get it. It is a lot. Yes.
Well, listen. There's about 4 billionaires that came out of the NBA, right? I just covered Junior Brisbane, who became one. Do you want to be a billionaire one day, or is that not on your radar? You again said
who doesn't want to be a billionaire?
Not everybody wants to, because you don't need $1 billion.
I agree, but with $1 billion, I feel like you can help a lot of people. So
$400 million, you can help a lot of people too.
I try to do that as well with $400 million. So just think how many people I can help with $1 billion.
So $1 billion is your goal?
It's not a goal, but I'm not gonna say no. I don't want to be a billionaire.
Right, but if you get there, you get there.
If I get there, I get there.
How about owning the team? You want to own an NBA team?
Not really. Not really. I want to own a football club though.
NFL or soccer?
Soccer.
European soccer or MLS?
Yeah.
Okay. Why not? MLS is.
I can do MLS too, but like I said, I get to travel. I get to go over there, sit in my Bigface coffee shop right next to PSG. Like we'll be doing some things.
Yeah. Well, man, listen, it's time to look ahead and close, right? I always ask the $1 million question. I think I know how you make
$1 billion question?
$1 million question.
$1 billion or $1 million?
$1 million.
Okay,
$1 million. Because we said you haven't made $1 billion yet. So $1 million question. I think I know how you made your first $1 million. Right? Playing basketball. How did you spend it, and anything you would do different?
My first $1 million?
Yeah.
Probably on a house, a car.
What type of car?
At the time, it was like this pickup truck. I'm a Texas kid, so it was a pickup truck. What was it? A GMC Sierra 2500, I think.
Most people they go for the Benzes.
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Just a house and a pickup truck.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that was $1 million total. What type of pickup truck was it? What you put inside of that?
I mean, you got like food and all of that stuff that goes into it, some clothes here and there, but I mean the two biggest purchases were probably a little house and.
So you wouldn't do anything differently from that, then?
No. But back then, like I was so frugal with my money then, crazy. Little bit different now, but I still wouldn't change it.
Are you still frugal now?
Not as much as I was.
Okay, because you remember Matt Bonner, shooter? He's
yes,
very
yes.
frugal. He only wears flannel shirts, and he only buys used cars.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't, and they have to be used like
I'm not
Pontiacs
that.
or something.
I definitely have some expensive habits for.
What's the most
better.
expensive one?
Probably like the wine collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoy wine, but to me, wine is just like coffee. I just get to drink it at night. And you get a little buzz from. You actually get a little buzz from coffee too at some time.
Oh, you do get a little buzz from
right?
coffee. Yeah.
So that's another way that I can connect with people through wine.
Gen AI, man. When you hear that phrase, what comes to mind, and what aren't people talking about enough?
Oh man, what can be done? Like when I think of AI, like I be like, man, you can make anything happen now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you really wanted to, I mean, and people still do it, like, you can have a cup of coffee that, you know, in reality a robot has made, and it's probably really, really, really good. Right. So, you know, I take it all back to coffee, like, this AI thing's going. It might help Bigface though. So.
I was gonna say, man, like
it might.
A robot.
It might. That's what I'm saying. Man. It might.
I mean, you know,
we might need to think of that.
That's what I'm saying. You know, we're taking off camera, man. I got some IP ideas for you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna charge you like you charge me with Bigface. No, what you mean?
I actually don't have my wallet.
That's cool. We got the phone, as you said.
I don't have my phone either.
Well, that's cool. We got Josh's phone.
Perfect.
He got
charge Josh.
Listen, man. Forbes BLK, our leadership platform, man, that we have over at Forbes, always ask, what's your favorite business book or your favorite leadership book? Something that helps you along the way, you know, develop the skills you have.
Honestly, I wouldn't say it's a book like that. It's a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari?
Yeah.
That's like a lit title.
But I think that book, it's not like a business book like that. It just really taught me to keep everything in perspective. That's what that book.
Kind of like The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a book about life.
Okay.
And the way that you do life is like the way that you finna do everything.
Wow.
And that book definitely hit home. So.
Yeah. I gotta go get it now.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just put one of my teammates on it too. And
really? Steph?
No. Moses Moody.
Oh. So young guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you helping out like Luau helped you out, man. Helping out the young guys.
So
man.
it's a good one.
Right. Well, I always end my conversations with my favorite book in business, man. Good to Great, Jim Collins' book. What's the difference between a good NBA forward and a great one?
I think the way that you do everything. You don't skip any steps whenever you're great. You embrace the bad parts. You embrace the good parts. And you put your head down every single day and you do the same thing every single day. That is what's gonna make you great. When something's tough, you ain't gonna run from it. You're gonna figure it out. And then if you fail the first time, you're gonna figure it out. You keep going until you get it. And I'm on that track to being great. I got a long way to go, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler, man. Now we got to have you back when you open up the franchises, right? Got to start with Philly after Miami, right?
Okay.
Go backwards, right? Go backwards. Go Miami, then you're Philly.
I don't think you want to go backwards.
And then go Chicago.
Not
like,
backwards.
Like
move forward, but remember where you was at.
Hey, listen, man, I hope that one day you can go back to Philly and sign.
I go back to Philly all the time.
Yeah, but I mean,
love the city of Philadelphia.
Though, man.
And I wear a Sixers jersey. I wear Joel's.
We really hate it when you left. Yeah. We really did.
That don't got nothing to do with me. I didn't do that.
I know. You in Golden State now. You're in Silicon Valley, man.
Good.
But Jimmy, we appreciate you at the Nasdaq, man. Good luck the rest of the season. Stay healthy, my brother, and good luck to Bigface Coffee, man. Take those animal instincts and continue to build it out. Jimmy Butler here at the Nasdaq, and if you ever buy some Bigface Coffee, remember it's only big faces he's gonna, unless you have a phone.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time, man. Thank you for watching.